Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. We're
so
so
excited.
psyched to be here.
So, what are you bringing to San Diego International Film Festival?
We're bringing our short film that we wrote and directed and produced and starred in together. It's called Too Long at the Fair. Yeah.
For my fans, what's it about?
It's about two best friends who have a princess party business.
Fledgling princess party business.
And it's about two women growing up.
The
and,
transition from girlhood to womanhood and sort of stepping into that moment in your life where you realize your life is not sort of unfolding the way you planned, but opening to what it is, opening to what is unfolding. So,
And what are some of the challenges and joys of independently making this film?
Do you how much time do you have?
I mean, so much
yeah.
joy and also so many challenges. Well, I think we're also just really excited to be here around other independent filmmakers because we know how hard it is to make a movie
and
independently.
to get to celebrate actually accomplishing something and really finishing a thing. Just finishing it is so much work.
Yeah, so we have.
So it's nice to get a little.
Moment to celebrate that and just profound respect for people that are doing this because it really does take a lot of will, a lot of belief, and sometimes you don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. You just know that you have to make the thing, and we happen to be best friends, and I think that helped a lot to have each other to lean on and support each other and know that we just had to do this together.
Females in filmmaking industry, is this still an uphill battle?
I think that this is a really obviously important time that this is, people are realizing that there is such profound inequality and it's systemic. I personally look forward to the time where we can just be valued as human beings with talent and with skill, regardless of our gender, our hair color, where we come from. But I think before we can get to that point and recognize ourselves as talented human beings with something to offer, we have to see and understand that there is inequality. It is present, it is systemic, and we need more women greenlighting films. We need more women CEOs. We need more women, getting their voices heard. And I think that that's happening now, I think.
I think it's some, it's an exciting, it's both a hard moment and an exciting moment, I think. And so it's, I'm glad we're part of that in a way. Yeah.
Before I let you go, who out there are your favorite filmmakers that you aspire to or look up to?
Oh my God, so many. Lynn Shelton, Cole Hollister,
Mariel
Heller. I mean, Lena Waithe is, she's incredible. There are so many. I mean, people that are dead now, but I mean, Cassavetes, there's just a lot. There's a lot.
So many.
But especially in the indie scene.
Congratulations on being here at San Diego International Film Festival.
No, thanks for having me. It's a beautiful city.
So, Tom Crawford, what are you bringing to the festival?
So, I made my debut feature film called Degenerates, and it's a I think it's a light-hearted comedy. Some people think it's a dark comedy, but it's definitely entertaining. So it's about a screenwriter who recruits a group of eccentric characters to go and find a missing teenage girl, but he does that with the intention of turning the search into a true story script. And so he can sell his script back to the studio, because nowadays it's all very superheroes or true story films. That's just the way it's going. Disagree with me if I'm wrong, but that's how I think it's going. So it's this one's for the fictional storytellers. This film.
So about screenwriter, right? Is this loosely based on your experiences, or?
Yeah, definitely. I've been writing scripts for about 5 years now, and it's so hard, because no matter how good your script is, if you don't get it into the right hands, it'll never be seen or never made. And so I've been grafting away writing for about 5 years.
So is the key to just make your own film instead of waiting for that big break?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna write and direct feature films from now on. It'll always be feature films, and if it means that I have to go to private investors, to get money, because it's hard. It's so hard, especially if you haven't, someone can have a really, really good script, but if you're not, it's all about finding the right person to make your film and with the right funding, the people, and it's so yeah.
I gotta ask you, your accent. Where are you from?
I'm from London, in England. London, England. Yeah.
I've been to London. Lovely place.
It's lovely, it's nice,
I'm a big fan of Arsenal.
Arsenal, okay, yeah. I haven't been doing too well in the past 5-10 years. Yeah.
Arsenal in the 90s. Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. So I was a Man United fan. Was. Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you. Not anymore. Good thing.
Was. Yeah.
So for my fans, before I let you go,
Yeah.
what will be your advice to aspiring filmmakers out there,
Oh.
having gone through this experience?
Oh,
What should they look out for?
to make films?
Yeah, independently, like you do.
Well, with my film, I had about 700 different locations. I advise not to do that. Keep it very simple, keep the budget low, but it needs to have a hook. It needs to have a hook. I mean, even if it's like telling a situation rather than a whole story, that's still marketable. You know, that's more marketable because I mean, there's a kid who in Ireland who just made a film about the Russian social experiment, and this trailer has just you know. It's just gone off, you know. It's so, but that's more of a situation. That's not a story. That's a horror sort of thing about, you know. And so yeah, I say tell a situation. I wouldn't about 10 years, 20 years ago. I wouldn't. So the story's king, you know. But yeah, try and make a little horror, a little something, you know, that you can make, you know, shoot on an iPhone. You know, you can do anything really. It's all about story though. You need to have a solid, well, we have a solid story, but you know, if you haven't got the budget for it, tell a situation.
You look fantastic, both of you.
Thank you very much. So do you. Nice try.
Appreciate it. It's my first time here at San Diego Film Festival.
Really? What took you so long?
Well, what brought you here? What are you bringing to the festival?
Well, we're patrons, and so we also have. I'm an actor, and I have a couple of little bit parts in a few of the movies, but we're really supporting them this year, and we're honored. This film festival keeps growing and growing. It's getting bigger and better every year, and the film quality is just amazing here.
So, what is it that's different this year compared to the previous one? What is this bigger?
Well, I just think, in my opinion, I think there's maybe a little bit more variety or different genres represented, but it's just getting harder to pick the films for this, you know, for this film festival. The quality that's coming in, and it's truly international. Films from all over the world.
Being part of this business, what's your advice to my fans who are aspiring filmmakers, maybe having trouble breaking into the industry?
Perseverance. I think just keep making movies and networking and going to film festivals and going to, you know, events that you can get your name out and your card out and, you know, and get people a chance to see your films. But most importantly, keep making films, you know, and eventually something's going to happen. I just believe that if you persevere, you know. Yeah.
Before I'll let you go. What films are you looking forward to seeing this whole week?
Well, there's a bunch. There's Nicole Kidman has a film, but the one tonight even is I'm very excited about that one, the Melissa McCarthy one, because it's something she doesn't normally do. It's a dramatic film. Last year there was a comedian, Molly Shannon, who had one it was fantastic. So I'm just very excited about seeing somebody do something outside of their wheelhouse.
Well, Michael and Chris, congratulations at the San Diego Film Festival.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, yeah.
So what film are you bringing?
Astral. So it's a story about a young university student who undertakes astral projection, and it's the consequences when he uses it to connect with his dead mother. So the concept came about because Michael tried it, and some really weird things started happening, and kind of so it's very
it's
spiritual
like sleep
and
paralysis, and you start to hallucinate and see things. So he kind of experiences, as a character, he experiences all of that, and it's kind of his journey going through all of that. In an attempt to obviously reconnect with his mother, but it goes horribly wrong for him.
Okay. So I'm intrigued. Definitely supernatural thriller. Is that what you call it?
Yeah. There's a lot of science in it as well because we tried to kind of base it as much as we could in reality.
we wanted to like root it in science, and because there's a spiritual side, but also there's actually a scientific explanation for why it's possible and how it can be achieved. So when we were actually undertaking, we didn't want it to just be a kind of out and out horror or jump scares. We wanted there to be some psychological background to it.
And so it's loosely based on what you experienced, right?
Yeah.
So do you expand on the story based off that? Is that what
So actually our lead actor as well, Frank.
Frank Delane. He was in Fear the Walking Dead. He's just recently left, but yeah,
he said he experienced sleep paralysis as well.
He did, and that's the reason he wanted to take part, because he was like, it's something he actually suffers from. So for him, it was a big draw to the script. That and the fact that we managed to shoot the whole thing in 2 weeks. So
that's actually my next question. Having gone through the experience of making this film, what's your advice to independent aspiring filmmakers out there?
There's no reason not to make it. If you have an idea and you have enough support around you and support network. It's not just about finance, it's about just getting out there and actually making material. For us, it was kind of like we quickly recognized, once we had the idea and the concept and the script, that when you show as much passion as we had behind the project, that people tend to follow.
A lot of people join in.
And it's that people just feed off your own passion. And I think if you have a passion to tell a story, then it comes through both in the material and the opportunity to work with and collaborate with other people.
Ryan, congratulations at the San Diego Film Festival.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my first time here. Is it your first time?
It's my second time here. I've been here once. I got to host an event a number of years ago, which was a charity event we used ping pong to help raise money and awareness for certain causes. But now this is my first time here as a filmmaker.
Nice. And what film are you bringing?
I brought Quantum. It's a short film about a boy battling a brain tumor. And when he's ready to give up, his little sister helps him discover a message of hope.
Wow, that sounds like a heavy drama, my friend.
Yeah, it's like a little emotional roller coaster.
Did you write it yourself too?
I did, yeah. I wrote it, directed it, and I have a small cameo.
What's the inspiration behind that story?
So that's a tougher question. It's based partially on my father passing away from a brain tumor when I was very young. And I lost a brother and a niece to mental illness a number of years ago. So I kind of took both those inspirations, combined it into a totally fictional story, but using both of those as my root and my truth.
And so that experience, I mean, I don't want to get too deep, but is it a healing process for you as well?
Absolutely. I mean, this was an opportunity for me to take my pain and turn it into purpose and really explore to just get it out. You know, I think so many of us deal with so many worse things that I've personally dealt with, and not a lot of people have the avenue to really express that and turn it into something. So this was my opportunity to share that and connect with other people who have been through similar experiences.
Well, for my fans who are aspiring filmmakers, having gone through this experience, what's your advice to the filmmakers out there, independent filmmakers?
Find your truth. And if you know what your truth is and you're writing what you know, and you keep training and honing your craft, you're going to come up with a great script. And if you do, that script will get made. You just have to keep pushing it along and not really take no for an answer.
How do you tackle the usual suspect problems like budget?
I was very lucky. I crowdfunded personally.
Okay.
And so using crowdfunding helped raise an awareness, but I was also able to attach certain pieces to the script before I crowdfunded. So when I did start my crowdfunding campaign, I could tell them that I had certain actors attached, certain producers attached, which helped build the excitement.
So when can my fans see the movie? When it will be released publicly? Or?
Well, they can come to our screening on Saturday, which is at 2:30, or it will be released probably sometime next year when our festival run comes to an end.
So it's great to be here. I support the film festival every year, and a lot of them, Oscars and Emmys and all that good stuff on the red carpet. And I'm really thrilled to be here. Hi, because I love supporting the arts and film. It's been 20 years. I played a role in Fashion Week LA, the lead. It's just a comedy, and I like being funny. So my jacket, I don't know where I'm going with the jacket, but we'll find something, right? You look good. You have skinny tights. My Barbie has like pretzels on it or ice cream or something crazy, because it's always like I'm eating in the car trying to make everything go together.
I like the retro look.
You like the retro look? I know. Someone said, oh, it's Beetlejuice. I said, no, we're not going to go there. Let's go somewhere. Dolce & Gabbana would be so sad. But I said, okay, well, that's all right. You can go there.
What's your advice for aspiring fashionistas out there?
You know, I think for fashion, I'm the style host here for 4 days straight. And I think it's all about you, no matter what size you are. It's about glamour. And it's also about tailoring. I think the tailoring is the most important. If you don't have a designer outfit, it's perfectly fine. Just put something together that's going to really look good on you and that you feel comfortable. That's the most important to me.
Is there a certain style that you like?
I like vintage and kind of like European influence from London and Paris and kind of that. I love American designers, but I really kind of gravitate to that. Yeah, so, you know, it's just anything novelty is fun. I think it's always basic black underneath. You can do fun jackets and all that good stuff, you know, so you can make it as you go. One thing that's most important, and I have a slogan, I do the 10 Best Dressed Awards every year, is getting dressed with the gloves of compassion and a coat of courage. So once you got it on, it's about what's inside, it's the joy, it's the excitement. Otherwise, it must be on a hanger, right?
Yeah.
So that's the deal.
I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
right?
I want my fans to follow you online. Where?
Leonard Simpson TV, Instagram, Facebook Leonard Simpson, and Twitter is all Leonard Simpson and Leonard Simpson TV.
All right, thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. I'm thrilled to be here. Great smile.
Congratulations on this year's San Diego Film Festival.
Thank you so much.
So as the event coordinator, what can we expect differently or new about this year's event compared to previous years?
You know what? One of the things I love about this year in particular is the broad range of films that we're screening, not only from the studio standpoint and all of the topics we're covering, but also the independent films and what they're bringing to the table. So it's not only about important social issues, but it's also, it's looking at, what's happening around the world. And that's what they're bringing in. The filmmakers are going to be here to talk about that. And that's what I'm so proud of.
And there's some big names, big movies like tonight, right? Can you ever forgive me? That's Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy.
Wow.
We've got Widows with Viola Davis.
That's right.
We've got Wildlife with Jake Gyllenhaal. We've got Can You Ever Forgive Me, which is a fantastic film based on the best-selling book. We've got honorees tomorrow night at the Night of the Stars tribute. So it's going to be, not only do we get to honor amazing actors at that, but then we get to also look at fantastic independent cinema.
And how helpful are the sponsors this year?
You know what? Sponsors have been incredibly supportive, and so is the city of San Diego. It's a beautiful place to have a festival. We're really fortunate.
Now, before I let you go to enjoy the evening, what's your advice to aspiring filmmakers out there?
You know what? What I love about working with the filmmakers, and because I'm also the artistic director, it's really about following their heart and following their passion, and it's really about staying true to the story. And when I see that in a film, that absolutely stands out. So I encourage them to stay with it and keep submitting and keep going out to film festivals. This is absolutely the best route for them to go and to be noticed.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Enjoy the
you.
evening.